There is history in the making. India has just announced the first death sentence for a woman in 150 years. I say 150 years because that is when jail for housing a woman on death row was constructed. The Mathura district jail for women has been lying unused since 1871. She was a reputed school teacher, favorite among her students. When she committed the crime, she was carrying a baby in her womb. Many are asking what led her to take this violent journey. Shabnam is being hanged for the brutal murder of 7 of her family members. She killed her father, mother, 2 brothers, sister-in-law, cousin, and even her 10-month-old nephew. She laced food with sedatives while serving them a meal. She, with her lover Salim, then barbarically axed them to death when everyone fell unconscious. Her family opposed the alliance of Shabnam and Salim. Shabnam was a postgraduate in geography, had fallen in love with Salim, who was a daily wage laborer. In the interrogation, Shabnam and Salim admitted to the crime and led the police team to where they had hidden the weapons they used for the crime. The Indian judiciary is one curious case of ambivalence. On one hand, there are fountains of justice, while on the other, there are cesspools of manipulation. Indian courts have handed down the death penalty only for the rarest of rare cases. It is an uncanny coincidence that only men have committed such rarest of rare crimes. Since 1947, 720 prisoners have faced capital punishment, of which all were male. This raises some serious questions. Do men commit more crimes? Or does Indian judiciary adopt a subtle gaze while punishing female prisoners? In a 2001 kidnapping case and killing of 5 children in western state of Maharashtra, Renuka Shinde, 41, and 36-year-old Seema Gawit were sentenced to death. In 2004, even the president upheld their death sentence. However, to date, they have not been hanged. In case of Shabnam Ali, the first woman to be hanged since independence, is an example of changing landscapes of Indian judiciary. The National Crime Records Bureau report says that the crimes committed by women in India only accounts for 6.4%, as the large chunk, 93.6%, is still handled by male criminals. There were 1,51,675 female criminals arrested as per 2003 data, which rose to 1,54,635 in 2007. NCRB states that a total of around 51 lakh criminals were reported in 2019, in which only 6.4% were women. This states that even in today's time, the majority of crimes committed in India are male-dominated, and the rate for female crimes is still low. Women's crime rate has increased over the year. An old prejudice being derived since ancient time is that the term crime could be a synonym for men only and not women. This is so as the psychology behind it prevails. The pious stature of women considered to that similar to goddess in Indian culture. Basing these, women committing crimes had never been a subject of extreme concern, and if such a news hit our ears, we get astonished to the behest. The face of women crime has undergone an uncanny change since last decade, with a slight rise from 5.4 in 2001 to 6.4 in 2011. The crimes mostly comprise of drug trafficking, prostitution, and murder. Since a long time, the world witnessed crimes against women mostly, but today the scenario is shifting towards women committing crimes themselves. Injustice has a direct correlation with crime rates in society. Also, social access and visibility may play a role in crime rates. Women have mostly been tucked away in 4 walls of home in a predominantly patriarchal society. Occupying public spaces also brings women face to face with challenges of dealing with the outside world, and patriarchy impact crime rates against women. So, it is not surprising that crimes being done by women are seeing a slight uptick. The brutal murder of our own family members is causing ripples through India. The only mention of women hanging room in India can be found in UP Jail Manual 1956. It lays out elaborate rules of execution of women convicts on death row. Pawan Jallad of Meerut, who hanged all 4 convicts of Nirbhaya rape and murder on 20th March 2020, visited Mathura and inspected the jail a year ago. He says he's waiting to inspect the hanging house again. He says when the order arrives, he will go and hang Shabnam. Shabnam may be India's first woman to go to the gallows, but overall death sentences are becoming unpopular in the civilized world. But for now, death row continues in India. That's all we have for you now. Thank you for watching Democracy News Live as we bring to you the latest updates.